Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are going to get started with some announcements this evening. So I'd like to call up our president, Joy Schultz, to give us some announcements.
Happy Hanukkah, Shabbat Shalom. Good to see everybody here. It's really a pleasure and it's a privilege to be able to welcome you to our Shabbat service, especially between the holidays where people are traveling and everything. So if you're new to our congregation or attending as a visitor, are there any visitors? All right, well, welcome. Please introduce yourself to Rabbi or myself afterwards, and so that we can better welcome you. It's a delight to spend this joyful evening together, and I want to talk about some things that are coming up. The community trip to Israel is in February 2025. It's an adult-only trip, and if you're interested, let us know, and we'll connect you with the appropriate personnel. It's a delight. I just jumped a line. We'll connect you with the people at the Federation that are in charge. We have many more events coming up, and more detailed information can be found on our pamphlets and on our weekly e-blast, which comes out on Tuesday. But please don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions. And again, thank you for coming. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Shabbat Shalom and Happy Hanukkah again, everyone. Oh, come on. One more Shabbat Shalom. There we go. All right, good stuff. So before we do the formal welcoming Shabbat song, I'm just going to, you want to help me light the Hanukkah candles, actually. We'll do those first. So move the wine over here, and here's the lighter helper. Everybody can join. Whoops. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Elo. Whoops. Okay. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu, bayamim hahem lazman hazeh. I swear it's not a trick menorah. It just, yeah, you're good, you're good. This is actually a family menorah that I did not remember to clean the wax out of at the shamas, so this is my bad. Joy, you did great. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. And let's all join together on page 128, 128, for Hinei Matov, for welcoming Shabbat, and then we'll get to the other candles. Hinei Matov u'manayim, Shevet achim gam yachad, Hinei matov u'manayim, Shevet achim gam yachad, Hinei matov, Shevet achim gam yachad, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. And now we turn back to page 120, 120, for the lighting of the candles, and then we'll say the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. And now we turn to page 123, 123 for the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh Zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta V'otanu kidashta Mikol hamim V'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava uratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen. L'chaim. There might have been a sneeze out there. It is the season. So if I miss anybody sneezing during the service, bless you ahead of time for any sneezes. It's can't always interrupt the prayer, but I always know that there's a standing bless you. So, let's see if it's better that way, if it's closer to my mouth. Okay, I'll try and keep it closer. So now let us turn to page 142, 142. For Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now we turn in our books to page 146, 146 for the Baruch Hu. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. You may be seated. And now we turn to page 148, 148 in our prayer books. And I'd like to invite up Ron Rappaport to read for us in English. Please join in. This is in honor of Myrtle Rappaport, his mother's yahrzeit. Page 148, 148.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavo is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. And now we turn to page 150, 150.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Thank you. And now we turn to page 152, 152. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot ayadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. And now we turn to page 159, 159. Please join with me together. Sing the song of people, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Now, I hope we're not all too partied out from Hanukkah, but let's please try and channel some energy from this redemption at the shores of the sea and put a little bit of fire into our Michamocha here. Page 158. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedar b'kodesh, Norah tehilot osef eleh, Norah tehilot osef eleh. Malechutecha ra'u va'anecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Eli anu ve'amru, Ze Eli anu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki pada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo meyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. And now, we turn to page 160, 160. Let's read together in the English. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and rise us up, O guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And now we join together on the top of page 60 for Hashkivenu, 160, page 160 for Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechayim. And now we turn to page 162. Having thought of a Sukkot Shlomecha and invoked God's help in building a shelter of peace for Shabbat, we now get to have a much more raucous song that just reminds us of the covenant that we have with God. And so I'd like to invite everyone to join together for V'shamru on page 162, 162. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And now I invite you to turn to page 164, 164, and we rise in body or spirit for the Amidah, the Tefillah portion of our service. Adonai sifatai tiftach Ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei HaKol, Ve'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav leHoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechalkel chayim bechesed. Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל HaKadosh. You may be seated. We turn to page 175, 175. Please join with me at the bottom of the page. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And now we turn to page 177, 177. Please join with me at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha na'eh lehodot. And now, we turn to page 178, because for all the things that we have to be grateful for, we know that we are still praying for peace. Shalom Rav, page 178. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom ra Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom ra Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'v'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. And now we take a few moments to think about those who are in need of healing, whether it's healing of mind or of body or of spirit. The congregation is thinking for healing of Jim DeArmond, Pearl Levin, Ron Rappaport, Carol Friedman, Carol Wallace, Carol Solomon, June Van, Rabbi Michael Matchison, Sherry Chait, Jerry Chait, Larry Michaelov, Antoinette Worrell, Linda Chambliss, Judge Frank Caprio, Stuart Rosenthal, Fran Marcus, Howard Silvers, Paige Hedrick, Vanessa Warner, Jaime Klinger, Jane Stewart, Kathy Weiner, Rob Moreland, John Jagodinsky, Ben Beltran, David Adler, Jeff Mayer, Linda Margulis, Sadie Charlotte Schwartz, Dean Fiandaca, Sophie Kruski, Arthur Iglico, Rose Iglico, Carolyn Boyles, David Charles, Karen Toker, Rabbi Ben Yehuda. All Israelis still being held hostage, all Israeli soldiers injured in war, and all civilians injured in any war. If there's anyone that has a name here that you would like to share with the congregation for someone who you're praying for healing, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We hold all of their names together as a congregation. I invite you to turn to page 371, and to rise in body or spirit for the Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and courage to those who care for the sick. May God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all who are ill be surrounded by the love of friends, loving companions, family, and community. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And now I invite you to take a few moments for a silent meditation for the prayers of your heart. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al ko Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al ko Yisrael, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. So, I'm not going to ask you to share them, but has anybody here ever had a crazy dream? Something like riding a flying menorah into a jelly-filled donut factory. Anybody have just a really weird dream? You can raise your hands if you want to, but no pressure. I'm seeing from some of the smiles that people here have had maybe a crazy dream here or there in their lives. So, dreams can be bizarre, but they can also be really meaningful. In this Parsha, Miketz, we hear of Pharaoh's dreams, which are anything but random. He dreams of cows and of grain, and these dreams actually forecast really huge, important things for all of Egypt, for the Israelites, and for the whole region. And we'll get to hear more about that later on in the Parsha. The thing is, though, for the longest time, no one could figure out what Pharaoh's dreams meant. And that's where the Joseph story picks up again. Joseph, the cupbearer, finally remembers, the guy that Joseph predicted from his dream 2 years ago would actually be pardoned. This guy finally remembers Joseph, who interpreted his dream correctly. And so the chief cupbearer tells Pharaoh, oh yeah, there was this guy in prison 2 years ago that interpreted my dream, and it came true. And so Pharaoh has Joseph brought up out of prison, cleaned him up, and then brings him into Pharaoh's presence. And Pharaoh tells Joseph his dreams, and then Joseph interprets them. And Pharaoh is so impressed by this interpretation that there will be 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh believes that Joseph is right. He's so impressed by this, he puts Joseph in charge of figuring out how to prepare for these 7 years of famine. Joseph is appointed effectively to prime minister in a day. He goes from prisoner to prime minister in one day. So it's a good thing that he never gave up during those 2 years that he was in prison. It's a great display of resilience as he springs into action and then helps figure out exactly how Egypt should prepare for these 7 years of famine. And he does well, because by the time the 7 years of plenty are over, Egypt is very, very well prepared. When the famine hits, it hits the whole region. And so, back in Canaan, Jacob, Joseph's father, all of Jacob's other sons, Joseph's brothers, travel down to Egypt to buy grain. And unknowingly, they come face to face with their brother Joseph. All of those brothers come in before the presence of this Egyptian prime minister, not knowing it's their brother from 20 years ago. And so, instead of revealing himself in this parsha, Joseph sets up a series of tests for them. He tests his brothers to see if they've changed, to see if they've become different people than the people they were 20 years ago that sold him into slavery and faked his death. And so the brothers show their grit by rising to the occasion. And as we'll see next week, Joseph gauges that they passed his tests. Can you think of a time when you rose to the occasion and met a challenge? Faced and rose to the occasion with some grit and met a challenge that was facing you. What helped you through it? What helped you to succeed in facing that challenge? This parsha is filled with examples of resilience. Joseph's ability to rise above the betrayal, the imprisonment, and the separation from his family are demonstrations of his resilience. His brothers demonstrate it when they rise to the effort to defend their brother Benjamin, their youngest sibling, from being kept in Egypt as a servant. These stories teach us that resilience isn't just about surviving challenges. It's about growing stronger and finding meaning through those challenges. Joseph shows us several qualities of resilience. He has confidence in his abilities to interpret dreams. He has an internal sense of control. He doesn't give up, even in prison. And he finds creative solutions, figuring out how to help Egypt prepare for those 7 years of famine. But just as Joseph turned adversity into an opportunity, we also see during this holiday, during Hanukkah, how the Maccabees faced overwhelming odds with courage and determination, lighting a path forward for our people. As we light the Hanukkah candles this week, we see another story of resilience. The Maccabees faced impossible odds against those Syrian Greeks, and yet they fought for their freedom and to rededicate the temple. Their victory wasn't just a military one. It was a triumph of faith, spirit, and resilience. Like Joseph, they didn't see themselves as victims, but they fought. And they fought with the ability and the belief that they could create a better future. The Maccabees acted with faith and grit, ensuring the survival and the continuity of their Jewish identity. Like our ancestors, we all face moments of difficulty, whether it's in school, relationships, or our own personal struggles. The good news is resilience is like a muscle. It can be strengthened. Here are 3 ways to build resilience, inspired by Joseph, the Maccabees, and modern psychology. Confidence. First of all, believe in yourself. Believe in your own abilities. For instance, if you're preparing for an exam, think of all the work you've already done, skills you've developed over time. Just like Joseph trusted in his own gifts to interpret dreams. Connection. Rely on relationships that support you. Think about who in your life you can lean on during trying times. It's like in those game shows where you phone a friend, right? Somebody you can rely on in your own personal life. Because just like the Maccabees, we are stronger together. and creativity. Maintain optimism when looking for solutions, especially in difficult situations. If you're stuck on a problem, whether it's a school project or a personal goal, step back and see if you can see new solutions, new ideas from that new angle. Because just like Joseph in the story found a creative solution for this problem he foresaw about the years of famine. So as we light the menorah with a new candle each night, it grows brighter. It reminds us that even when the world feels dark, even when it is dark, we have the power to bring light, to find strength, and to build resilience. Like Joseph and like the Maccabees, and like countless others in our history, we can face challenges with courage and transform adversity into strength. This Hanukkah and beyond, may we all find ways to be resilient, to support each other, and to light up the world with hope and with joy. And so this next week, think of one small flame that you can light, that you can bring into the world. Whether it's saying a kind word to someone in need, taking a step towards a personal goal, or finding joy in the moment. Just as the candles light the dark night, may your actions bring light into the world. Shabbat Shalom and happy Hanukkah. We turn to page 678, 678, for Israel's national anthem, the land of the Maccabees. And so I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we, in solidarity, sing Israel's national anthem. Ima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfate mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvatenu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion V'Yerushalayim. And now, while we are standing, I invite you to turn back to page 586, 586 for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, Shelo asanu kugoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kimishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gorelenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Notei Shamayim V'Yosed Haaretz Umoshav Yikaro Bashamayim Mima'al Ushchinatu Zo Begovei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Ein Od Emet Malkeinu Efes Zulato ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Why should I wish to see God any better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment. And then, in the faces of the people, I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, because I know that wherever I go, others will punctually pass forever and ever. We think of those who came before us, those whom we have lost. The congregation is thinking of those whom we have lost within the last year. Dean Leeser, Senator Stanley J. Aronoff, Rodney Elk, Alan Hyman, Mary Louise Boyer, Buzzy Klausner, Gregory Wayne Berger, David Dunn, Barry Schoenfeld, Milton Margulis, David Shaknowski, David Friedman, David Cohen, Mike Hyman, Daphne Spargo, Alice McCauley Schumer, Carol Mandel, and Helen Gerber. And we're thinking of those whom we lost at this time in years past. Lillian Bain, Harold Barkun, Shirley Bartfield, Harold Baumgarten, Reuben Brash Jr., Abraham Cantor, Leon Friedman, Harold Furman, Benjamin Gorelick, Carolyn Gleikenhaus, Jack Goldman, Sophie Hirsch, Nina Kirschenbaum, Robert Lang, Sylvia Levine, Ted Levinson, Randy Rabinowitz, Myrtle Rappaport, Jacob Rosenthal, Sally Safer, Jeffrey Sager, Harold Stern Jr., Martin Tabak, Manuel Tanser, and Mary Vertlin. If there's anyone here that's keeping someone in your hearts that you'd like to share with the community, someone whom you have lost, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We hold all their names together as a community. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Kaddish, page 598. 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yidromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudusha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. You may be seated. Let's turn to page 626, 626 for Ein Kelohenu. 626. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkenu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mich Elohenu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Malkeinu, Mich Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. And now we look back to page 603, 603. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the priestly benediction, which is my honor and pleasure to say over all of you this blessing that comes from the Torah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, shalom, shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. Shabbat shalom, everyone.